Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel, Saved by an Angel. My name's Ashley, and in this video I'm going to share with you some of my experiences of meeting archangels. I'll begin with my homeboy, Archangel Michael, the first archangel I ever came into contact with that I'm aware of, and that was in 2014, right before I was about to take my own life. He opened up a portal in front of me, and there was a whole bunch of words spoken from my dad's higher self to get me to stop doing what I was trying to do. And yeah, talk about a holy crap moment. I had no idea how I knew this Archangel Michael energy was all around me. I couldn't figure out my old man talking when he was still alive. This was so crazy for me that I didn't tell anyone. I actually went on a 9-month drinking bender that eventually led to me quitting. Yeah, I got pretty carried away. But over some time, when I did start opening up about it, talking to all these intuitive energy workers, I found out some stuff, and then I was offered, to have some guided meditations while on shrooms to try to connect with the spirit realm and stuff. And so this one time, this is my favorite meeting with Archangel Michael. I got a hold of some mushrooms, and I set out the intention for him to come introduce himself to me, right? So I do the magic healers. I go into meditation. And I had this large quartz crystal set up in front of me, right? Got my candle, my sage going, everything's hunky-dory, right? And as I'm in meditation, I'm hearing, you need to open up your eyes. And so I open up my eyes, and here in this 7-inch tall clear quartz crystal, Archangel Michael is standing from head to toe inside this thing, glowing white. And it was kind of like he was moonwalking, but forwards. He had this big round shield and this sword in his hand, and his hands were moving back and forth, and it was like he was marching, but he wasn't moving because he's in the quartz crystal, right? And when I saw this, I was in disbelief. And after 30 seconds, I remember rubbing my eyes and looking back to see if it was still going to be there. And he was still doing his little march, right? So I was like, oh my God, am I actually seeing this? And right when I said that, this crystal let out this big whoomp pulse. And when this thing hit my ears, I physically, for a second, questioned if my eardrums were blown. That's how painful it was. And my ears were physically shaking. It was crazy. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm not gonna question if I'm seeing this again. And then something crazy happened. See, they say, I'm just gonna kind of drift off here. A lot of people say angels will appear to you in the form that you kind of have pictured of them. And that's because some people believe that angels don't need their wings. It's my understanding that there's a realm where angels need their wings and there's a realm where they don't. Personally, if Archangel Michael would have appeared to me in the image I had of him, it would have been nothing like this. He was jacked, he'd just been working out at Trevor Linden all week, way more jacked than I would have thought. Crazy flowing blonde hair going long down, and his wings were way different than I would have expected. I always thought they just would have been straight out. These things were bent up higher than his head and came down lower than his feet. And so getting back to my story now, when I was staring at this thing going on, he folded his wings all the way around him, and when he did this, I was sitting in a chair, my chest collapsed into my knees, and I was so overtaken by a feeling of ecstasy that I couldn't move. I had no strength to even lift myself up. And what I didn't know at the time, but when I talked to people after, I said, what was that all about? I'm told that when an angel appears to you and folds its wings all the way around itself, it's actually sending you gold light. And let me tell you, I could feel this gold light enter my body. And after some minutes had gone by, when I was able to pick myself up, he's still marching away, and he ended up doing this 3 times. So he folded his wings again for the second time. I dropped down to into my knees. Can't move because I'm in so much ecstasy. And pull myself up, same thing, boom. And then when I got up the second time, it just was over. Or the third time, it was over. That was pretty gnarly. That was a pretty rad experience. My next favorite experience involves Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Metatron. I did another ceremony where I invited them in, and this time was completely different. I didn't see anything even in my third eye, but I sensed something was right beside me when I called them in. And the first angel to step forward was Archangel Michael. And when he came into my presence, it was like, have you ever been in a garden when a bumblebee, a huge one, flies right by your ear and you feel that vibration? Well, picture that 1,000 times stronger going through every millimeter of your body. It was so intense, it was unbelievable. And so after like 10 seconds of feeling this buzzing, I could feel him back off. And then Archangel Raphael came forward. His energy was so soft. It was like the polar opposite of what Archangel Michael's was, right? So you got a warrior and a healer, so it's two different energies. And then after some time, he backed off. Archangel Metatron stepped forward, and his energy was just a little more, nowhere near Michael's, but it was above Raphael's. There's a snake. Hey, you guys see that? Yeah, anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, so Metatron's energy was just a little more poppy than Raphael's, but nowhere near Michael's. And yeah, should I, I'm wondering if I should go here. You guys want to hear a couple stories about meeting Lucifer? Okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do it. First of all, I'd just like to say I've been a Jesus boy my whole life, and I still am. So I'm loving light, right? But I've learned a few things about Luke. I like to call him Luke. And you know what? I'm gonna share them. I'm gonna share them because he actually helped me out without me asking. So my first encounter was actually through a shroom ceremony, and you know, not necessarily calling in the right protection and doing the right steps, but I was in this meditation, and this crazy thing was I was blissed out in the feeling of ecstasy. I did a journey into the heart, and I was just in so much love when the word Lucifer was whispered right through my ears. And it was soft, it was gentle, it was quiet, and I was like, what the heck? My eyes were closed, and I see this ball of light. I'm in like I'm like in space, right? I see this ball of light in the distance. It's coming flying at me, this white ball. And right before it gets to my head, it splits off into two. And they go right by my ears, like 1,000,000 miles a minute. And my ears start going wah, 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 wah. And I was like, what the heck was that, right? So I'm doing some talking with this shaman guy I know. And he was telling me how that was the angels actually coming to escort Mr. Luke out of my aura field. But that was my first experience meeting him. I've actually had a couple Reiki healing sessions from him without asking. I'll add. So the next experience with him was as I was going through my divorce, packing up the house to sell, move. And during that time, I was passing an 11 millimeter kidney stone. Now let me tell you something. It's like giving birth. It's the only way I could compare it. It was so intense that I was on the ground in the fetal position, not even being able to cry because it hurt so bad, not even able to move. My ex-wife was trying to have me a glass of water by my shoulder, and I couldn't even move my hand 2 inches to get it. Like, the pain was so horrific that I remember thinking in my head, I was like, how much pain can the human body tolerate? Like, am I in danger of dying from pain? And right when it was like the climax of this pain, I heard Lucifer was whispered into my ears again. And the strangest thing happened. I went from thinking I was gonna die because I was in so much pain to I burst out laughing. I burst out laughing, and the next thing you know, I stood up, was completely 100% healed, no pain at all. I messaged my friend. I said, what the heck just happened here? You know, I'm all about love and light. What the heck's going on here? And, you know, I was told to accept the free healing from Mr. Luke himself. That's what that was. My next Reiki healing session, the Prince of Darkness, was actually the beginning of 2021, when I was going through, you know, quite a lot of frustration, mental frustration, going through divorce and dealing with issues with the ex and the kid and where I was living and all these things, right? There was this time where I was just standing there, and I probably looked somewhat normal on the outside, but on the inside, it was like Mount St. Helens was just erupting, right? I've never been so internally angry and frustrated and just like losing it, right? And just when I thought, again, I had this feeling of like, how much frustration can I actually like create here? Something really crazy happened, this like jolt in my lower chakra. And I don't know how to explain it, because it, like, I guess it happened in my third eye, but it was like this thing just twisted, and I was like, whoa, I felt this presence moving up. And the next thing you know, I see in my third eye this pretty gnarly looking dude that has these almost like headless and tailless snakes, black snakes going all around him, in and out. And he was in the middle. And the next thing I know, I start getting sucked towards this thing. And this is to the point where I'm feeling this on my physical body now. And I'm starting to trip out a little bit, to the point where I'm starting to wonder, like I'm really getting concerned that I'm gonna get sucked into this thing. And so I snapped my head back, and when I did that, this thing disappeared, and all this negative energy that I had was completely gone, and I was at like a blank slate. So that was my second experience there. I've got more, but I think I'm gonna save them for my book. So that's enough freebies for now. When my book's out, you can get that, and there's gonna be a whole bunch more. So yeah, I just thought I'd talk about angels, share my experiences, hopefully find them interesting. If you do, comment, like down below. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.